Hello, everybody. Oh man, yeah. Thank you for joining me on this business seminar that I've titled "Excuse me, How to Start a Business from Idea to Income." It's by no means an expert speaking to students. It's just I want to share my own little ideas and my own experience trying to start a business. Um, my story perhaps might strike a chord in perhaps your own story. Not, I was one of those guys that started a business and it was like, hoo ha. No, I made so many mistakes. Um, I believe I started about 3 businesses in about 15 years in England and all failed. None of them really took off to anywhere. But for every failure, I learned something very profound, something very tangible. And as in the course of days, if we have time, I might share some of those stories. But today, I just want to talk about how to start a business, really. And as we go along, if you have questions, pop it in. Obviously, I can only see the questions popped in on the chat on YouTube because that's where we are primarily. What else? And also let me know where you're watching from, your name, and what city, country you're watching from. That'll be helpful just to know how far we're able to reach because this was just obviously overnight, and I just felt I should share some ideas. So let's go. So my name is Namdi Celestine, and I live here in America at the moment. I lived in England, from Nigeria, Port Harcourt. So that's really about me. Run a business called Suke Lab. It's a wellness business, and also I love sports. So I love water sports. I love keeping fit, going to the gym. What else about me? I love beginning to try my hands again on golf. Used to play golf many years ago. Getting back to playing golf and getting back to playing lawn tennis. And of course, I'm a dog lover. I've got a little puppy. So that's really about me. If you want to pop something about yourself, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. But let's start this morning. And again, I want to welcome everybody for joining me this morning. You may be in a place right now where the bills are real, where the pressure is real, where the job market feels very dry. I'll be honest, most people are in that same space. right? But I want to tell you something powerful. You are not jobless. You are not jobless. I guarantee you that you are. On the flip side, are rich in ideas. You are idea rich. You are not jobless. You may not have an employer right now, but that doesn't mean you don't have value. It simply means it's time to switch from waiting to creating. The time to switch from waiting to creating is now. And that is what I want to talk about in the next 35 minutes or so. Of course, this is an introduction. We're not going deep into things. I'm just challenging you and reminding you and encouraging you to take that next step to starting a business. Of course, if you want to go in depth, we have programs where we can walk you through starting online businesses where you don't need money, where you don't need to get a loan or wherever, and you can literally start using your phone and the social media platforms. You know, the purpose of this session is to talk you through about real life, real world. Today we are going to walk through the real world step-by-step framework of starting a business from wherever you are. No fancy degrees, no huge savings, no accounts needed, just a willingness to learn. Are you willing to learn? That is all that is needed. A bit of grit, of course, because being an entrepreneur, it's not always easy. So you're gonna have hiccups, a bit of grit here and there, but it's all worth the stress. And of course, you need a plan. You need a plan. I want to try to get you to shift your mindset from a job seeker to a problem solver. Because I guarantee you, in you are solutions to problems, just that you don't know. Or you probably even know, but you're just scared of starting something. But in everybody is a solution to a problem. And Jim Rohn, a guy I was listening to, profound guy, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says this, and I quote, he says, "Don't start a business to make money. Don't start a business to make money. Start a business to solve a problem. When a problem is solved, money will always follow value." Jim Rohn puts it this way, he said, "Don't start a business to make money. Start a business to solve a problem. Money follows value." And that is true. That is true. And that's one thing I like about Africa is because there are so much problems to solve, there's so much wealth to be made. So where there are more problems to solve, don't see them as problem. See them as potential to making money. Of course, to solving the problem and in extension, making money. Every business starts with solving a problem. Every business. So when you start shifting from that employee mindset to a value creator or problem solver mindset, then you will start making some income. You don't need money to start, like I said earlier. You just need a right mindset to start any business. Not every business rather needs money to start. Not every business needs money to start. Look at Airbnb. Hotels were expensive or are expensive and perhaps sometimes fully overbooked. Why don't we create an economy where we can make some money while helping each other out? That's literally Airbnb. You make money while helping someone out. And Airbnb has grown and grown and grown. Guess what? You can be the next big thing. Your idea, your business can be the next big thing. Especially now we have, more technologies like the AIs, and it was just internet a few years ago. Now have AI joining the business space, and that has made things even more competitive. It makes creativity like expand and grow exponentially, so you can tap into the power of AI and create a business for yourself. You might be saying, what can I do? What do I know? What do people ask me for help with? Little thing you can think about. What can I do? What do I know? People ask me to do things from time to time. What do they always ask me to help them out with? Have you ever baked for a party? Are you a good cook? I spent $55, 85p on just have 2 African meals today. That was even as tasty. I needed the value and I went for it. Drove 30 minutes. So do you cook? Do you bake? What can you do? Are you a funny person? Comedians in America are billionaires. Comedians in Nigeria are killing it. Just being a comedy. Have you helped a friend write a resume before? Or have you fixed your neighbor's car? Have you cleaned someone's home before? You already have skills. You already have marketable skills. You already have skills that can add value to people's lives. So what are you waiting for? I think I'm gonna have some slides here. I'm rubbish with slides, but we'll try and see what we have here for slides. So how to start a business from idea to income. That is what we are discussing today, right? From idea to income. So I'm gonna go to the next slide and let's see. You don't need anything big to start your business. Start small, start smart, and see how where it takes you. Though your beginning might be small, but your later end will increase. You know, it was Zachariah that was saying, I will not despise the days of small beginnings. Excuse me, my voice is fully going. I strained my voice a lot this week. I hope we can still hear me though. So yeah, like I said, start small, start smart. Why not start by advertising your business on your Facebook page? Why not speak to your friends about it at church? Why not speak to your friends about it when you go, you go walking, or you go softballing, or you go hiking or whatever? Just speak to people about it. This is what we call marketing, viral marketing. Give your business a simple name. It might even be your name, and what you do. I could be Namdi's I am IT services. I could be it could be Tina's cleaning services. It could be Yinka's barber shop, or hairdressing salon. It could be anything, just anything would do. Just give it a simple name, and after that, try approaching, your friends. Like I said, they could be first customers. They make hair. Why not come to me? I've just started making hair now. Or if it's a guy, rather than go to the shop, why don't I come to you and give you a haircut for just $1 more? But that saves you gas and time. So businesses can be started today by using what you already have, what you already know to do. What you already know to do. It's not as difficult as you think it is when you really critically think about it. You can text your friends, like I talked about marketing, you can text your friends, hey, I'm starting a new business, a new service. If you know anyone that needs it, or even you, again, services like, I'm a personal shopper, I can do your shopping for you. I could, like where we live, we have people that clean the pool. That's a business. He has no degree, but he cleans pool. I can't do it. He does it. He takes my money every month. There are people that cut the grasses, that mow the lawn. It looks easy, but they are professionals. They have perfected their act and skills in this area. As a business, they make money. And you know what? It's irrelevant if there's recession or not. You're not going to live in a forest. Someone has got to come on your lawn. So they always come out every Friday, I believe, and they get it done, and you pay them. I just could only imagine how much they make in a month or in a year. And sometimes completely tax-free. So share with your friends, market it to your friends, learn to use your story and your testimony to promote your brand. Learn basic marketing tools, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever they call it now, and just one of them, all those things are all there. There's just so many social media outlets out there, and word of mouth, and create flyers. It's very easy not to create flyers on PowerPoint, on Microsoft packages. Keynote, create flyers, easy. and so many apps out there, of course. Keep learning and keep serving. Keep learning and keep serving. Business is a journey of learning. Start messy, adjust often, but serve well. Serve well. Be faithful. Be faithful in what you're doing. Like I said, I started in a business back in the day in England, and I didn't quite know how to navigate it. And of course, after struggling, paying for this, paying for the tax man was on my neck, for a few years, I had to close it. I failed in that business. But for me, fail is not what they teach us in the classroom. FAIL for me is first attempt in learning. So fail for me is first attempt in learning. So I learned a lot failing from that business. I learned a lot just going through the things that I couldn't do properly. Of course, it's a one-man business. And I also understood that sometimes it's important or best you outsource what you can do. And if need be, for a percentage in your business, it's better than trying to do it on your own and failing like I did. Well, like I said, we will talk about the nitty-gritty of running a business in future for those that really want to get stuck in. They want to actually get on with it and not just something they're still thinking about. Or perhaps you're already in business and looking for how to scale. Then we can have proper conversations and privately later. And are there barriers to business? Yes, there are barriers to business. What you don't know, you don't know. And those barriers, essentially is what ruined my first business, my second business, and even my third business. Well, like I said, for every time I failed, I learned something new. Look, let's be honest. Fear, lack of money, lack of confidence. These things are real. These things are real. But let's also not pretend like courage is not real. Let's not also pretend like creativity is not real. Let's also not pretend like divine wisdom isn't real. So don't let what you don't have stop you from using what you have. Yes, you might be scared, but don't let fear stop or kill your creativity. Don't let fear kill your courage. Don't let lack of money kill your divine wisdom. You do not need a loan to start a business. You need a customer paying first. You do not need a loan. Or you could say, I don't know enough. Yes, but you can learn as you go on the job. Very possible. That's how business goes. Or you might say, oh, it's too late to start. Well, every day you wait, someone else gets ahead of you. So would it be? Are you going to start today? Or are you still going to let fear hold you back? That is your own call. You got to plan as well your finances, how to handle your finances. When the money is coming, you don't spend all your profit. You got to reinvest it. You got to have plans of percentages to keep, to reinvest, percentages for ongoing costs, so running costs, and never forget percentage for what I call charity. You must. It's a 10%. It's actually a business rule. People think it's a church thing. It could be though too, but it's a business rule. You must keep some money, especially about 10% or so, to do good deeds. Handling money, how you spend your money is a very important part of business running. Of course, this is after you've started your business, so that's like it's still far ahead of what we want to be talking about today. But it's very important to have that little skill, financial management. you know, in business, we all have this big picture, and it's okay to dream. But what you really want to do is to get that first pay. Get that first pay, repeat the process, get another pay, repeat the process. So business is actually about repeating processes. Repeat the process 10 times if you get a pound or $1. You repeat that process 10 times, you are $10 richer or 10 pounds richer. You do that 20 times, you're 20 pounds or $20 richer. It's just a repetition. Your first goal is not to make a million, it's to make $1 or a pound. Do something you love, or doing something you love. Just making that money doing something you love. Let it not be like a job. And that's why it's important to do what God has put in there for you to do already anyway. So it's not a job, but it's work. Don't forget, we're never actually created to be employed. We were never created to be employed. We were created to be deployed. Never created to be employed. When you are employed, it's your learning curve. After you have finished learning, you need to get deployed. Problem solving. So business is about repeating systems, repeating processes rather, and then scaling that process. Okay. What else do I have for you guys today? Let me see. I believe God has already placed seeds of entrepreneurship in everybody. I absolutely believe that. There's creativity in us all. There is resilience in us all. And the ability to multiply, whether it's biologically, financially, mentally, socially. You don't need to wait till you're perfect. You just got to start with a purpose today. You are not just unemployed, you are being positioned to create opportunity, not just for you, of course, but for others too, and to essentially and ultimately be deployed to live that dream you've always wanted to live. So I'm gonna stop here. I've gone 35 minutes, like I said. About 35 minutes. So if it has made any sort of sense, of course, if you don't have the workbook, then it might come across a bit vague. You need the workbook to do the exercises that'll get you thinking and get you stimulated and get you working towards starting your own business. It's not hard to start your business, and I can help you walk you through things you have that you don't even know you have that can make good businesses. You can write books, you can do podcasts, you can engage people writing blogs, you can do so many things, and you can start scaling that. You can start solving problems, and you can start being paid to do what you love doing because you are adding value to someone's life. I hope this made a bit of sense to us. It wasn't planned. I decided to jump in and just do this. Hence, my slides are bad. And there's some case studies here. Tamara from being a cleaner to a 6-figure company. Tony Brown. These are real case studies, but different names have changed them. Start with $50, nice driving. How about Deborah? Baked goods and turned a community brand. If they can do it, you can also. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Leave a note, leave us a message, and let's know what your needs are, and we can take it from there. Okay, guys. All right. I'm out of here now. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.